Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Welcome back to more of the. God, I was watching some of my old content today. I'm like, no. You are not on that. You got the right franchise. When I was about to say that, I was like, I got the right franchise at least. No, welcome back to more of the great. Ah, why did I say great? Why is that? Can't wait for next year's milestone structure because it's going to be a few $60. I will replay your guys' choice of Great Ace. That's next year. This year is going to start to, and then probably by the year after that, it might even be the Apollo Justice trilogy. Who knows how much of those games I might get through how much of those I will get through next year, despite it is coming out pretty early, and then as soon as I finish whatever I'm playing is when I'll switch over to Apollo Justice, which I am already working on trailers for it, because honestly that's gonna be like a big thing. That's gonna be the big thing of 2024 for me. It's like the return to the courtroom, the actual return to the courtroom. Not some ancient, not some just investigating. Nah, we're back in court, bitch. That will be the Apollo Justice. That will be the Apollo Justice, kind of like start, and I'll be hyping up. I will be hyping it up like crazy. I'll be with you. So. But anyways, as I was trying to say earlier, welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigation. There, I did it this time. No more mumbling and rambling and all that jazz. This is the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Wait, no. Ace Attorney Investigation. Miles Edgeworth. I do hope to be good at Great Ace Attorney Investigation. So someday that would be awesome. No, no, seriously, you know how cool that would be? Like, just think of it. Picture what it would be in your head. And then you'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, that is so cool. So anyways, I don't have any big announcements. Same as always. Same announcements as always. We have Actualize in 2 weeks. And what about Christmas? December 19th to the 21st. And I don't know why I'm already hyping up Turnabout Christmas. Anyways, let's jump into the game. So tonight I don't have work in the morning, so I can go a little later if I want to, but we'll see how I'm feeling after this part. March 13th, 2:34 p.m. Wild West area. Looks like we got the food again. With land safe, the focus of the investigation will shift slowly onto the murder. You mean the infighting between the kidnappers? Yes, and also the identity of the remaining kidnapper. Miles, my boy! Tell me it's true. Tell me that you really found my boy. Well, more like you found us. You know? Yes, Mr. Armando, we found him earlier in the stadium. A little sunshine. He's not exactly the picture of perfect health, but his life is not in danger. He's being questioned right now by agents. Poor lad. Must be so horrible for him. Locked up like a... What do you got for us, Kay? Yes? Anything of interest? What is it, Kay? You look like you stumbled upon something. I'm kind of confused by all of the different events going on. Welcome to Ace Attorney, Kay! First, there's a kidnapping. Then there's a conspirator that ends up in a murder. Welcome to Ace Attorney, where everything ends with murder. Well, actually, it ends with solving a murder, but murder is usually involved. So, welcome to Ace Attorney, Kay. I know this is your first time in an Ace Attorney game, but welcome. Miss Oldbag felt the official moment. But you, Miss Oldbag, are kind of don't even. We don't need to investigate further into that last statement, discarding the fact that who it came from. The witness testimony was a mess. However, it did shed some light on the truth behind the case. So let's keep investigating and see what other types of people we run into, shall we? Let's see what other let's see who else we can uncover as witnesses. Like, who are we missing that were important in Edgeworth cases? Like I said, we saw Sam Manila, so if we're gonna get each episode covered, we have Turnabout Samurai covered. We have we have Rest in the Ashes covered twice with both Meekins and Emma. Well, and Turnabout Samurai because Oldbag and Sam Manila. You have, and this is specifically ones we have Edgeworth in. So, Farewell My Turnabout again is Oldbag. And what if we see a bikini or what if we do run into Groberger or something? Or April May, I'm just trying to think of people from Turnabout Sisters and Bridge Turnabout, who else we can run into. But I don't think we would run into anybody from Bridge to the Turnabout because if my theory is correct, this game takes place before Bridge to the Turnabout. So we would just need to look for people in Turnabout Sisters. Did we get any more important? Yeah, that doesn't matter. Well, Miles, my boy, I can't thank you enough. It was nothing. Still in shock for what happened to Oliver. I have to say, I'm relieved that Lance is alright. Oh, that's right. I mustn't forget to pass this along to Lance as soon as the police are finished. A letter. The way Lance is being chased after by women reminds me of someone I know. Almost can't believe he received yet another love letter, Here, take a look for yourself. Isn't this a breach of confidentiality? It's a very simple love letter. Oh hey, let me see. That's really weird. Viola? Are we referring to Viola Cabanera? That one girl from Movie A Recipe for Turnabout. Oh gosh, are we just gonna have everybody involved? Any witness that Phoenix ever cross-examined? I'm surprised we haven't seen Lotta Hart, to be fair. I'll be real with you. I'm surprised we haven't seen Lotta yet. It's from a little company. Oh, yep, definitely. This is Viola. It's from a loan company. Tender lending. Looks more like a collection bill to me. Have I shoved all the evidence on his face? Seeing that badge reminds me of men. Oh, yeah, we read this thing. Can't disagree with you there. That's what we don't really want to talk about. How I feel about him. It's hard for me to be truthful about that with another person. I mean, what do you expect? He murdered your dad. And then basically gaslit you for 15 years, thinking that you did it. Although it probably wasn't like hard gaslighting, but he let you believe for 15 years it was that you. You're feeling but mark my word, I think you really do. Oh, that looks like something of quite a bit of value, but then all things have value attached to them. Only by probing deep into the unknown can we become true winners. It's sort of one of those things, but knowledge isn't what. But knowledge isn't what's gonna make me a winner here. It's information. Also, my headphones are being weird. Just what sort of operation is that? That they would allow their valuables to be stolen? It's a disgrace to the way businesses are run everywhere. Well, these are, by nature, generally tend to target these types. Stealing is an abominable behavior. Don't you agree, little miss? Yeah, it's the worst. I'm gonna have to add hypocrite to the list of things you are, Missy. Oliver. You served me well for such a long time. What am I gonna do? What you missed? Were you here last on Tuesday? Because if you weren't here on Tuesday, oh boy, did you miss a lot. Part of me doesn't want to talk about what happened on Tuesday. Let's just say a certain old bag is in the part of this. A little certain old bag. Oh wait, it's on the next page. A certain old bag. Alright, so basically last stream, we continued our investigation, realized that the real scene of the murder was actually at the stadium. Hold on. It'll help to have this up here. It's actually up here in the stadium. But, so then there was two witnesses. Like I said, gold bag. You said, if I remember right, you said when you're watching the anime, you've gotten to learn about samurai. So yeah, you would know who Old Bag is. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep. She doesn't. No matter where we go, we can't get rid of her. Which was the real. Nope. Nope. Don't want to deal with it. Nope. Not at all. And then we also tried to piece together the murder. You know, except you're not you. Tried to piece together the murder. So, and that they were wearing that both the victim and the victim was costume. And then out of nowhere, Lance pops up. And man, I say, he ain't hot. Man ain't hot. This man, Ernest, he lied. His son is not hot. At least in my opinion. Yep, still the dead butler. Butler's still dead. But we found the connect. Well, more like he found us. I'm afraid we'll continue to be dampened by my tears for a long night ahead. This was found on the body of your butler. Oh, but what strikes me as odd is that the name engraved on the back is Colin Devier. Oh. Odin Levian. Fellow Denlund. He's so sad he's got it all mixed up in his mind. I understand, but that last one wasn't even close. Alright, this is the new evidence. Oh, that looks like something of quite value. I figured none of this would come, but maybe the love letter, because he just gave it to us. Nope, he got nothing to add about the love letter. But is it really a love letter? Because it's from Viola. Now, Viola is a character from Recipe from Tournament, which is in the third game, or season 2 of the anime. So we'll see what that comes up of. I mean, to be fair, I really forgotten most things about her. Let's talk to the lady. He loves me not. He loves me. He loves me not. That's the 12th one. No, you can't give up, Lauren. Just one more try. Excuse me, but I can't help but feel a bit sorry for all the flowers you have gone through. I suppose if they were me, then I believe you said that you're Lance's girlfriend when we first met, correct? Yes, I am. But that's not like it's not like we both think of each other as lovers. But he did give me this ring, so I guess we're not just friends either. I mean, because isn't it just any this isn't just any some ordinary ring. It tastes so sweet when I lick it. It's so wonderful. He gave her a ring pop. Wonderful. You mean to tell me that he gave you a lollipop ring? Alright. So which is it? Have you guys decided if you're going now or if it's just one-sided? Decided. Shouldn't the parties involved naturally just know? My father used to work for his grandma. So Lance and I grew up together. I said it out loud! I don't see how that's anything to be embarrassed about. So your father was an employee of the Yamano. What did he do? I heard his job was to fly around the world. On Pegasus. Pegasus? Oh, Pegasus is the name of the airplane. The airplane belonged to the company. You had me there for a second. But now, it's all changed. My father, he isn't around anymore. Oh, see. About 10 years ago, he rode Pegasus off somewhere and never returned. Riding Pegasus to whereabouts unknown. Sounds like the stuff of legends made of. It's been so long. I don't think I would recognize him if we were to meet again. I'm so very sorry, Lauren. But I won't give in to sadness. I have to live. Yes, Lauren, live! About this incident. But isn't the kidnapping already over and dealt with? I've been here the whole time, so I'm afraid I don't know much about any other incident. How did you come to know that Lance has been kidnapped? Oh, it's because, my woman's intuition. What's that woman intuition? I don't have any of that kind of shit. I mean, I tend to have a good feeling when I do not trust somebody. You base everything on that? I know everything when it comes to my land. It's really strange. It really must be destiny. You're starting to fantasize again. So what are you gonna do now, Mr. Edgeworth? You already established that there's a good chance that the killer is the other kidnapper. It's my duty to figure out who this other person is. I believe there is one location you might hold a clue to. It was where we were kidnapped. The place where we were held prisoner. Hold it! Don't let me in with you! That's fair, she was not kidnapped. She technically did rescue us. Well, Sort of. I can't allow you to slander my good name as a great thief by saying I was captured. You were stuck in that room for as long as I was. Not being able to escape from somewhere qualifies you as a caged bird, okay? Besides, we checked that place out pretty well while we were there, remember? Don't you think it'd be a better idea to check somewhere else? No, because here's why. Time has passed. Perhaps you're right. What I really need right now is leads to the killer's identity. I believe there is one kidnapper's hideout then. The obvious location is kidnapper's hideout. But we're still not allowed in, remember? Agent Lang and his men should be done with this area. The area. In that case, there's no harm in asking that officer there to let us in. Which officer? Which officer is it? This one? Excuse me, but if you could let me through here. Sorry, can't let anyone through. Agent Lane's orders. I suppose I'll have to deal with this impasse now. Is it this one? What do you have to report? Sir, nothing unusual or out of the ordinary, sir. Where have I heard such redundancy before? Is it possible for you to take a look around inside? Sir, roger, sir. That was surprisingly hassle-free. Are you certain? Didn't Agent Lang order you not to let me in? Sir, that's true, sir, but Detective Gumshoe asked me personally, let you in, sir. Maybe I shouldn't cut his salary once again. I couldn't refuse a request from him. Well, looks like Detective Gumshoe has a following. Furthermore, I was asked to give you this document to you, sir. What is this? But the name here says Colin Danuver. That's the same name as the one on the back of the pendant. It appears that Colin Danuver was his real name. What's this? He was convicted and cased 10 years ago, sent to prison. What? Then what is he doing here? Apparently, he broke out of jail and then just vanished. He must have become Oliver Deacon except for the fact that he was an escaped felon. Oh boy! This has just gotten deeper. Now, I'm not sure what's going on anymore. Is there some sort of link between the victim's past and this current case? It's Ace Attorney, it always is! These police documents are rather detailed. I should take the time to give them a thorough read-through eventually. I'll have it right now. Whereabouts are unknown after his escape from Penny Dent prison. Stole a gun from a guard during his escape. We thought he might have headed for where his wife and sole daughter are, but despite our surveillance, he has yet to show up. Interesting. So you wonder how somebody could have a gun, Agent Lane? It's fine. Let's focus on one thing at a time, starting with the kidnapper's hideout. Yeah, I agree. We should investigate first and think later. More than that, thinking things through, I think you should try remembering things first. Now then, if you could please unlock the door, officer. It was locked up until a little while ago, but since then, the door's been wide open, sir. I'm not sure if I follow what you're saying. Care for you to explain in a bit more detail? Sir, the door was locked down tight when they checked out the room. So they got about 10 officers to help out and break down the door, sir. I see. I guess that means I get Agent Lang's leftovers. Well, let's see what we find. March 13th, 2:57, Kidnapper's Hideout. So this is where the kidnappers plan their foul deed. While you're tied up in the room next door. Okay, please, must you bring that up again? Now down to business. There might still be some clues left in this room. Let's try to find out what we can from the other kidnapper's identity. Yes? the room next to the one where we were held prisoner. You know, I took a peek in here through the door in the other room. As I did, Kay. Anyways, this room was truly the hired kidnapper's hideout. And that must mean there should be some clues in their identities here, right? I don't know if there are. However, the probability is quite high. I believe that a thorough combing of this room is necessary. Ooh, they have barrels just like these outside. Yes. Well, I know I already asked you this when we were out there, but these are real. What do you put in them? There's an exceeding clean in her eyes that I'm about to dash by ignoring. This must be where they dispose of old and worn out costumes. That's so sad. It would seem that they throw the costumes away in pieces. Oh, it's my only piece of logic. In the hideout, there's a trash bin full of old and useless costumes. Beyond this door is where the kidnapper tells you after getting to jump on you. Must you keep reminding me? But it's the room where I got to see your awesome face. You don't need to remind me of that more mortifying moments either. Oh yeah, because we got a good look at it when we look at it. I won't rest until I've infected every suspicious liquid candy. Wait! There are 3 cups of coffee here. Cheap styrofoam cups. Those if you guys don't know, actually, you can't really see this. I'm drinking hot coffee, hot chocolate, because I ordered some with my dinner, and so that was nice. And I'm just like, so cheap styrofoam, my. As I took a sip. Looks like only 3 cups were used. I wonder what this key is for too. You got me. Remember to see if the key we found in the other room. That's it. This must be the key for one of those trap doors. That wasn't a trap door. You only called it one because you quite literally jumped into it. Hey, but isn't it that what you're supposed to do when you see one? No! I'm not having this conversation with you. Folding chairs, by the looks of them, they were probably used by the kidnappers. There are 3 chairs that are on the table. I mean, by logic, we would... So, gonna assume, by logic, we can assume there were 3 kidnappers, when we originally thought there was only 2. The common denominator between the cups and folding chairs is the number 3. Speaking of which, the number of missing costumes was also 3. Wait, but I thought there was only 2 kidnappers. Indeed, something isn't adding up. Literally. So it's possible that there's a 3rd kidnapper that Lance didn't see. Or perhaps Lance was the one in... I don't know. A poster of the Gatewater Land is stuck on the wall. Intriguing, fun, see. Gatewater Land has it all for you, and it's waiting for you. Nothing especially catchy, is it? see what else we can find. Unused folding chairs lean against the wall with their folded shape. Wow, whoever lined these up did it perfectly. That's not even a single hair off. I feel bad using these. It feels like stealing it in a way for it. Yeah, I can turn down the game. It's also just, raise my own makeup. That is actually doable for me. So. I suspect it's more like you wouldn't want to be the one to put them away. I started advertising the photo rally. Something I have absolutely no interest in. Yeah, but I do, and I'm gonna get my hands on the rest of the Badger family. You'll see. Calm down, Kay. You only have the Blue Badger and the Pink Badger right now, which was Officer Meekins and Wendy Oldbeck. She definitely brings a slightly different atmosphere to a criminal investigation. Watch out, Mr. Edgeworth! It's a broken mirror. Probably came from the haunted house. Why is it here? What? Are they planning to repair it? Hey, there's a trapdoor in this room too! It's not a trapdoor. It's an entrance to an underground passage, okay? I know that! The door leading to the outside world was locked. The Lance must have escaped his prisons are here. The door is thoroughly broken thanks to the police who forced it open. I won't rest until I have inspected every suspicious nook and cranny. It's like a sword. A broken sword. Poor sword. Strange. Why would it be broken like that? Swords usually don't break on their own. That's true. Alright then, let's think about this in a way. Maybe it's broken when someone was trying to use it for something. Hypotheticals aren't going to get us anywhere. Perhaps we should think more on this later. That doorknob handle thingy is looking pretty beat up. I suppose that happens when 10 officers break in with brute force. Hey, that's odd. The lock on this is completely fine. Look, not a single dent. How's that possible after what the officer told us? Yeah, if the lock has been used when the door was busted down, then the lock itself should be completely wrecked. The lock on the door leading outside is unsafe. How can that be? The panel that hid the entrance to the underground was propped open wide open. Be careful where you step, Kay. I only fell into that other opening once, Ooh, they have barrels just like outside! Yes, and, well, I know I already asked you this when we were out there, but these are real. What do you put in them? There's accepting gleam in her eyes that I'm about to dash. Okay. Next. Some logic here, please, thank you? It's a bit strange that the police had to force their way into an unlocked room. One look at the pristine steel lock, and anyone could see that it was not in use at the time. But the policeman outside said it took 10 men to get it open. A door that was locked tight, despite not being locked at all. It can only be because of this. Oh, you mean... Yes, it was used to jam the door. Here, take a look at the door handle. Do you see how the handle is completely destroyed? That's how the sword broke. I thought we might uncover the true identity of the kidnapper. But instead, we have only uncovered more questions that need to be answered. Ah! Oh, what is it? Well, Mr. Edgeworth. Am I correct? What are you doing suddenly popping out of the secret entrance like that? This is an underground passage used by staff, sir. We badgers also make use of it in our duties. Look, why don't you get out of here first, and then we'll talk, okay? Ah, I beg your pardon, miss. But, Proto Badger, get! Alright, only one more to go! What are you getting all excited about? Did you forget the photo rally? Duh! See, look, now all it has to do is get a picture of that badger and I'm done! Ah, yes, I vaguely recall the contest or something of that sort. What? It's gone? But where did it go? What happened? What's wrong? A bad badger costume is missing, sir. Oh, is that all? Well, it's missing because the kidnapper stole it. I heard about how they were stolen. They said that only 3 of the costumes have been taken. What? Is he saying that more than 3 of them are gone? Mr. Proto Badger, please tell us a little more about these costumes you use. What do you mean by a bad badger costume is missing? Like just what I said, sir. We're one bad badger short. Counting the spares we had 2 of each costumes at hand at all times. Okay, so because of one of them is walking around in the park, the other should be in that room. Actually, both of them should be in that room. Huh? What do you mean? Normally, we don't use the bad badger costumes. In fact, we only use them during a certain event at set times each day. It's a stage show where the bad badger wreaks havoc around the park, and the other badgers must work together to apprehend him, sir. I'm speechless that such a show exists. Well, sir, I was just trying to explain to you the only time we use that costume. And then doesn't it make it near impossible to take a picture of the bad badger? Personally, I can't believe that it's this close to showtime and there's no costume. Oh dear, what am I supposed to do, sir? All this basically means that the kidnapper stole 4 costumes in total. But does that mean Lance was in a costume at some point? Then are you saying that there are 4 kidnappers? No, I don't think that's very likely. Oh, recall the costumes for a minute. They stole 1. The stolen ones, you mean. What proves that the 4th kidnapper doesn't exist? The Pink Badger one, right? Take that. If you had 4 people, wouldn't you want to steal... And you wanted to steal a 4th costume. Wouldn't you naturally go for the full set and steal a Pink Badger costume instead? Yeah, that makes sense. And yet, the kidnappers decided to steal another bad badger. I believe the culprits need 2 bad badger costumes. But the question is why? Maybe? The second bad badger costume. I believe it may be closer at hand than we think. What do you mean? That costume in the trash. Wouldn't you say that it's wearing some very telltale pants? Hey, you're right! Let's get out of here and take a look! Just as I suspected, it's a bad badger costume. Well, minus the head. I won't rest until I've inspected every look suspicious looking candy. I wonder why this bad badger costume right hand is torn up like that. Maybe it's a flesh wound from the fight with the blue badger. I always knew the blue badger was one ferocious beast. I somehow doubt that even real badgers are bloodthirsty like that, Kay. If it's just, hey, look, its hands hurt. Looks like it's more something ripped off of it. But sometimes if I hold. Clear car. This is clear car. What are you talking about? Are you going to fill me in or not? Maybe it's not so quite clear. Even if it's still a contradiction, right? Or it might not be. You're acting really weird with Edgeworth. Just tell me if it's a contradiction or not! My apologies. There's something else that's true in my head. I would be one supposed to do it. Look, it's insert. What if I just go anywhere on the head? Anywhere like this. The deuce. And then blue badger head. Bad badger head. Oh. I did not mean that for my phone like that. Wait a second. Where's a vile criminal with a gun? Where's the gun? Excuse me, Mr. Bad Badger. Don't need to worry about where your head is. Where's your gun? I believe what we have here is an inconsistency. Between what? Look carefully. Our costume is holding something in its right hand that it's not holding something in its right hand that it should be. Oh, the gun! Precisely. The Bad Badger was designed to always hold a gun in its right hand. However, you there, did you remove the gun from the Bad Badger's right hand? No, I did not, sir. The gun's supposed to be there. It's supposed to be securely attached to the costume. As I saw it, the rip itself confirms my hypothesis that the gun was forcibly removed. Mr. Photo Badger, is the gun, of course, not functioning weapon, correct? Absolutely not, sir. It's just a model gun. However, it can fire blanks. We need to use them for the stage show. Seems that our kidnappers also had a need for the model gun, my dear costume friend. Nailed it! I think we're about done with this room. So what's next? Well, we found a few answers, but there are still a few things left that we have to ask a certain person. Let's go, Kay. March 13th, 30:34 p.m. Wild Wild West area. Mr. Edgeworth, sir! You gotta hurry, sir, come on! What is it, detective? They found a blue badger costume down in the front down front of the main gate, sir. What? Isn't that one of the kidnappers was wearing? Bingo. That's why you gotta come to the main gate with me right now. If we hurry, we still might be able to get there before the wolf boy does. Alright, let's make a haste to the main gate. That was very quick. We are continuing. Depending on how quickly we get through this next part, I might even just say if we're finishing this episode. In my defense, I don't work tomorrow, so. Where's this costume detective come to? Just on the other side of the fountain, sir. Was it out here in the open all along? No, it was discovered in the tall grass back there. We moved it out here in order to examine it more thoroughly. And let's get down to it. I won't rest until I've inspected every nook and suspicious nook and this headpiece. This must be the Blue Badger officer. Must be the Blue Badger officer Meekins cross paths with. Oh, the nerves of someone throwing a Blue Badger away like this. Wait, hold on. If I'm not mistaken, isn't it canon that Gumshoe designed the Blue Badger, or like created like the one that's in front of the precinct? Like, isn't that like canon? Because I remember during the credits when I was playing the first game, well, the actual credits for Rest in the Ashes, I should say, and I was just like Blue Badger breaks down, and I'm like Gumshoe or something like that. I worked so hard to create this character like it's like my baby! How could someone do this, sir? How? Detective, how about channeling your anger towards finding the culprit? Good idea. Ooh, wait until I get my hands on... So, who are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Why don't you try figuring it out for yourself for a change? It's the Blue Badger's body section. What a waste. How so? Going through all the trouble to steal this costume, only to throw it away in the end. A real thief wouldn't do such a thing. Nope, no way. I wouldn't think a real thief would need to steal something so grotty to begin with. Okay, let's expect to examine the actual thing. What do we have here? Wings. Maybe like wings of a Pegasus. Oh, it's another pendant. That's 2 treasures in one day. How lucky is that? And hey, this is pretty baby is made of platinum silver too. Another pendant on top of the one we found on Mr. Deacon. Is it possible that these two... Hold it right there! What up? Hands off, Mr. Prosecutor. You sure know how to cross the line, don't you? I know how to cross-examine. Sorry. You probably should have saw that one joke coming. A pendant, huh? This is a very decisive piece of evidence. Hey! Okay? Only Kay's allowed to steal my lines. How can you tell? Look here and read off what you see. Lauren... Hey, that's the name... That's the name engraved on it. Ah, we have you now, Miss Kidnapper. No, you don't understand. Holly, I can't believe you were one of my kidnappers. He's not that hot, honestly. Like, he looks like a dad. He looks like he could be like someone's type. He's not mine. Lance. You're kidding! Miss Pop was one of the kidnappers? Yes. It was kidnappers. Even knowing that, I can't call this case solved or over. Hey guys, case closed. Get the car ready. I mean, the special one for this young lady. Hold it! Hey, again, Mr. Prosecutor? What is it this time? Objection! One word I'm good at yelling. Are you proposing that Ms. Polyp is also the culprit in the murder case? What happened? I thought Officer Meekins was your suspect. We found it. Found what? That officer's gun. He literally dropped it in the middle of a sick patch of grass. Your country's police are a sham. Just look how careless they are. Hey! Hey! Okay? You can make fun of me all you want. You know, Officer Meekins? You crossed the line there, buddy. I'm gonna roll up the sleeves. You done fucked up, my good handsome man. Who you calling a sham? Oh, and you have to also going after Gumshoe with that statement, huh? I'll have you know, Gumshoe was my favorite character for 2 whole games. Then Godot came along. Then Banshee and Cosmo came along, and the officer's gun didn't show signs of having been fired, so it can't be the murder weapon. Agent of Interpol, everybody. Officer Meekins has been clear of all charges, I see. That's when a brand new suspect came walking into the scene. The murder only happened because the kidnappers started fighting amongst themselves. As I recall, it was you who said that, right, Mr. Prosecutor? That's what I initially saw based off of logical reasoning. Okay, so shut up. We're on the same side here, Lang. You just want to get this done quickly for some goddamn reason. Are you trying to hide something? Are you trying to hide something, my good sir? You hot son of a bitch. Miss Pop, did you really kill Mr. Deacon? Yes. I killed him. I can't believe it. Thanks for the confession. Objection! I don't know why I need to objection, but I'm in doubt. So when in doubt, yell objection. Nailed it! I literally called an objection. Who's the real protagonist now? I called. I predicted an objection. Agent Lang, there's too much. It's too early to declare this case closed. Look at you. You're so sure of yourself. We got the culprit's own confession and some very incriminating evidence. What more could you ask for? Is that truth? Miss Lauren Pops. Yes? I want to hear it from you. Tell me your side of all that happened today, from the kidnapping to the murder. But what? I'm a kidnapper and the killer. Who are you trying to cover for? Isn't that enough? It's fine. It's fine. If you're the one behind everything, but only if that's the truth. Who you making up for? Now then, will you tell us the truth? Or is there some reason you can't? I had a change of heart. I think I enjoy seeing you sulk your way out of this sulking as the losing butt. Oh, no, my good sir. You'll be the one sulking away. Alright, you heard me. Let's hear all about the evil deeds you committed today. The one who came up with the kidnapping thing was the butler, Mr. Deacon. He knew that we could get rich by holding Lance hostage. Sir Armando would pay anything to get his son back after all. Everything was going according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, Sir Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me. There, are you satisfied? She just committed to her crimes a second time. At least you have the guts to admit what you've done. I can at least expect that much. Miss Pulps, is what you said really the truth? Yes, it is. That's the truth. It certainly isn't the whole truth. Because there is something that seems a bit too improbable in her confession. Considering the fact that I think everybody here is in agreement. I think that only 2 people here actually know that there were. Who gives the murderer even suspected scissors? She was hiding them away. They didn't see her. They didn't see it on the body. On her. When they obviously searched her, and then they didn't find the scissors. Obviously. I don't know. Hold it. How well did you know the victim? I've spoken with him only a few times at Lance's house. A few times. That's it? Yes. They only met a few times. I don't see how they could have trusted each other. But if you hardly ever talked, then how could he trust you to not steal his plan? That's completely irrelevant. He was planning to betray her from the very beginning. Which is why he chose someone who wasn't very especially close to him. Isn't that right, Gina? Yes, however, Mr. Deacon made a very poor choice. In the end, he was killed by the one he intended to betray himself. Ha! I bet he didn't even see that one coming. I don't think Lauren did do the crime. She's hiding for something. We knew that we could get a hold of her. You knew. How did you know something like that? Oh no. What should I do? Okay. What's wrong with her now? Come on, isn't it obvious? You're making your scary face so again. That's why. Why didn't you try asking her nicer? In a nicer, more gentle way. Have you met the man? No, please stop it, Lauren. You're always like this. You always fall for the stern-looking one. That's what will always make you be unhappy. Can we please take the scissors away from the suspected murderer, please? Or maybe that's... Or maybe that's it. She's been bewitched by your icy glare. God damn. Every time. Every single time. Mind your own business, Kay. Now then, Miss Paul, let's continue with your testimony. Oh, yes, of course. Hold it. Why did you believe that? Anyone who knows Mr. Armando would think the same. I bet Lance is that old man's greatest treasure. Don't even think about it, Kay. I suppose he would be to a doubting father like Mr. Armando. I always figured that it was, and I was too envious of Lance for it. Oh, because of your dad's... I got suspended from my father. And I believe that as long as I have this, I'll find my father again someday. He welcomed me into his arms. He welcomed me into his arms, riding on the back of Pegasus. It's a pet pendant. She must truly believe it to be the wings of Pegasus. Everything was going to according to plan, but as soon as we got the money, why don't you? Would you mind telling us a little bit about the plan itself? Well, first we captured lands. Oh, how did you do that? Mr. Deacon did that one on his own, so I don't quite know. Bah! There I thought you knew how to steal people and away. I shudder to think what you would do with such knowledge. Sorry, I really don't know. But but somehow Mr. Deacon was able to capture him. All we had to do after that was wait for the ransom to be paid, but Mr. Deacon turned on me and tried to kill me. Why do you think he did that? I have no idea. Maybe he planned on doing so from the very beginning. His pulse? Wait, Mr. Deacon planned to kill Miss Pops from the very beginning? Was that ever really likely to happen? What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Well, you know what I say, when in doubt, raise an objection! I'm sorry, but I don't think that's what you just claimed to be it. It's claimed all likely. Huh? I don't think Mr. Deacon would have ever been capable of killing me. But why? We were total strangers! It's not uncommon for people to kill each other over money. Miss Pulse, you really are clueless, aren't you? What do you mean? You never knew that your role in the kidnapping was nor do you really know who you really are. But I do, and I can show you with this piece of evidence. This proves that Mr. Deakins would not have been able to bring himself to kill Miss Pauls. Take that! Why are you showing this to me? Mr. Deakins was her dad! Obviously! So what about the pendant? This horse pendant along with another piece of evidence really shows who you are. These two pendants resemble each other, wouldn't you agree? Hey, you're right! They're the same color and even made of the same material! I believe that these two pendants are actually one. Shall we give it a try? Wow, it's totally Pegasus! Why? Why doesn't my pendant match up with Mr. Deacon? Do you clearly not understand, Lauren? Because Mr. Deakins is your dad. He would never be able to bring himself to kill you. I think my dad told me he could even go prove that he would never want to kill his own daughter. It's a fatherly code, I think. I think it would be a fatherly code never to, kill your daughter. You're a smart lady. I'm sure you can imagine why that might be. But no, it can't be! So the two make a set. Just another trinket. That does those changes anything. You like imagination, Agent Lane. Very well. I'll show you with this evidence. This police evidence gives the still meaning to Pegasus Menace. Objection! Take that! Oliver Deacon was just an alias for the man. His real name was Colleen Dovier. That name etched on the horse pedal. What? An alias? Agent of Interpools, everybody! I suppose he had to hide the fact that he was a felon somehow in order to live. And it makes sense given what was written on them as a D versus Doisier. What I really want to point out was this. The specified section reveals the true meaning behind the pendant. sole daughter. Mr. Dovian had one daughter, and her name was Lauren Pulse. That's a lie! That person was not my father! He couldn't come out and tell you he was your father because he was in hiding. However, I believe he was trying to secretly watch over you. Do you still believe that a man like that killed the daughter he was separated from? Or even that such a man would allow his daughter to get involved in a kidnapping plot? And what's so funny, Agent Lin? You're good at making things up in your head and deciding it's true, aren't you? Nah, that's a certain defense attorney I know. What are you trying to say? You think this is too... Your thinking is too much... is much too innocent. After all, I thought of another possibility. Is that so? Let's hear it. Is this possibility is that Mr. Deacon's sole dependent? I guarantee you that the two of them are a father and daughter. Oh, there goes that theory. But isn't it possible that they both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that the reunited pair became involved in the House of Amano. What? Hold on. Things happen. Wired headphones. I'll say this one. Wired headphones. Suck a dick. But I didn't turn my wired headphones, so we're gonna have to deal with this. My bad. And the two of them make good use of their meetings to plan this little kidnapping. Wouldn't you say my scenario personally probable as well? So this is how his version of things might have been. You don't have any proof that either one didn't know each other's true relationship, right? You mean they know you connect the kidnapping as father and daughter? That's right. As one really rotten family. Is that really what happened? I better take a long, hard look at the evidence. I'm looking so hard. Yes, literal hard and long look. Glaring at it so hard. Okay, that's all the evidence. We had a nice hard long look at the evidence. I'm still gonna press everything because that's how I go. That's how we roll. Pressing everything. Learned that from a certain defense attorney. sorry. That was obviously a joke. Because I cannot help referencing Phoenix. I'm sorry.
Hold it.
Precisely. And what father would ever willingly kill his own daughter? Like I said, my dad is actually home right now. Like he's probably getting ready for bed, to be honest. I've seen a lot of things in my travels. And I can tell you that being related to my blood is sometimes a proof of nothing. Isn't it possible that they both knew that fact?
Hold it.
You think they knew? Yeah, I don't think only the victim knew. I think the girl realized it as well. They both knew who the other person was, but they had to pretend that they didn't. Because he was on the lam? You got it. The victim couldn't exactly go around flaunting who he was. Furthermore, it was no coincidence that the reunited party became involved in the House of Amano. One as a butler and one as the friend of the son. He probably thought that was their best shot. Is that what you honestly believe? Of course. As the two of them made good use of their meeting to plan this little kidnapping.
Hold it.
You mean they plotted to commit this crime as blood relatives? Can you think of a better partner? They're certainly a clever player. The butler and the girlfriend. No one would ever suspect that they were, in fact, family. Yes, from the very beginning, the painstakingly practiced their roles well. Would you say my scenario is perfectly probable as well?
Hold it.
I believe you're a bit overconfident for someone with no evidence. Am I? Because I don't see you presenting evidence to the contrary. I presented a lot of evidence. Maybe it's your turn to present evidence. After all, you're the detective. I'm just the silly little prosecutor. That evidence to counter him, we're stuck at a draw. Agent Ling isn't wrong. His scenario is certainly a probable one. You better hurry up and do something, or Lauren's gonna wind up looking real bad. I know, but first things first. Agent Ling's line of logic is factually correct. Did the two of them really knowingly commit the crime as father and daughter? I would love to see that. Father and daughter do crime. That gave me an idea for a stream. Oh, but that would be way too much. That would take way too much planning, and I don't think my dad would be up for it, to be honest. I was thinking hopping in like a game, like, you know, hopping into a game like GTA or something, and just like doing a heist, like doing literal crime. You know, father and the daughter do crime. Let's take another hard and long look at the evidence. Lost of blood resulting from a gunshot wound. Entry point lower right abdomen, exit point right shoulder. Remarks: lack of blood around the body suggests the victim was killed somewhere else then moved, which implies that there should be evidence of blood at the real murder scene. Well, that's incorrect because it's in a costume. Wait. The two of them make good use of their meeting. Look at that. There's no question. This is gonna be a long shot, but objection! Yeah, it was a long shot. It's gotta be for the fact that there was 3 kidnappers, right? things he says. Confidence is like a soul, and in words, without confidence or but empty shells. Nah! Are you gonna let him lecture you about your self-confidence like that? I don't need to be overflowing with self-confidence. I just need to think rationally. After all, I only need be confident in the facts. Let's just name it as quick as possible as well. The two of them made good use of their meeting to plan this little kidnapping. I'm not sure. I feel like it's something about there's three. Grandson knew that they are father and daughter, but isn't it possible that both knew that fact? It was no coincidence that their united pain became involved in the house of a man. I don't know. And the two of them, excuse me, the kidnapping wasn't planned by just two people alone. What kind of proof do you have of that? Quite simply, there were three kidnappers. Three? So dramatic. I love it. 4 costumes are stolen from the Wild Wild West area's back room. We found one of them in the kidnapper's hideout. But as for the other 3, we can assume that they're being worn by 3 different people. We also found a set of 3 cups and 3 folding chairs that were used in the hideout. It all clearly points to a 3-man group. And I believe that this third person is the real mastermind behind the kidnapping. Who is this mastermind? I don't know yet. I present to you the brains behind the kidnapping. Oh shit, we already know this? Obvious it's Lance! Lance Amano? Obviously. It's so... It's so obvious! But there's something bigger going on then. Yes. This abduction was in fact schemed by Lance himself. Recall what he said when he appeared before us. Did you see the face of your kidnappers? No. I didn't see their faces, but 2. Oh, one was a woman. However, there was 3 kidnappers, which is in direct contradiction to what he said. But how did... I only saw 2 people. This guy was being held hostage. Is it possible he couldn't see all 3? It's possible he couldn't see all 3 of them. Ah, yes. About when you were being held, I had my doubts about what happened. Lance, would you mind telling us what happened while you were being held captive? I really don't remember much anymore. Honest. But if I don't tell you at least something, you won't believe me at all, will you? I was kidnapped yesterday morning. They had me shut in a room blindfolded the entire time. How the hell did you see there? Who? But the kidnapper suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. My hands were cuffed, but it didn't. But it was a stroke of luck that they left me alone. I made my escape and ran from that room as fast as I could. To the underground passageways, I presume. Are you okay? Sorry, I didn't really want to recall the horrible ordeal, but now you believe me, right? No, not quite yet. How can you not? Why do you look at me with icy daggers in your eyes? Hello, I'm Miles Edgeworth, King of Prosecutors, very cold-hearted. Oh, well, actually, slightly cold-hearted. Predecessor of Manfred von Karma. I guess the ice glues are in the nature! I should have just stopped out after. Hi, I'm Edgeworth. Because he's a prosecutor. And because they're all like that. Objection, Your Honor. I mean, objection. 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 Actually, to be fair, everyone. I mean, Godard wore a mask, so does that really count? Because he would be the one exception then. I have you know, Agent Lane's prosecutor's eyes are discerning the truth. And they should be interrupted at cruel time. Then so be it. There's a sticking point in Lance's testimony. Let's see what he offers up when I push a little. Ha ha ha! It's impressing, my tie. Why am I literally rubbing my hands together like I'm a crazy lunatic? Oh, but they do feel so warm now. My hands do feel nice and warm now. I'm glad I did this.
Hold it.
Can you tell us about when you were abducted in a little more detail? It was a strange morning. It felt like I was right in the middle of a great calm. And where were you when you were experiencing this calm? Our family's guardian, of course! Where else have it been? Look, I don't live the fancy rich people life. I don't understand. Well, excuse me for asking! This child is more princeless than prince. This child's more princess than prince. I was out taking a walk to shake off the morning blah. And out of the blue, someone from the clamped hands over my mouth. You didn't see your attacker? He must have used some drug to knock me out. Because before I knew it, I was off in La La Land again. Well, excuse me. I must sneeze. Twice, apparently. When I woke up, I was in the kidnapper's hide already, all tied up. Why, they had me shut in that room but blindfolded the entire time. But that room, you mean the room the kidnapper's hideout, correct? Yes, but I was blindfolded the whole time, so I didn't know until I had made my escape. Then you were in the same room as your kidnappers. They spoke in hushed tones, so I couldn't catch bits of their conversation. It was definitely two people. One of them was definitely a woman. I was so scared. I could tell that they were nearby, so I didn't dare to make a move. But the kidnapper suddenly disappeared around the time I heard rain falling outside. The kidnappers disappeared. The room fell into a sudden silence. I had been left like an unwanted mutt. And what do you mean by unwanted mutt? What a pointless question. It's not like he's gonna tell you anything new, you know. It's a poetic smile. You should learn how to use them too. You may look refined on the outside, but it's not good if you're not refined on the inside as well. What the fuck is that supposed to mean? But it was a circle look that they left me alone. Then those cuffs on your wrist, I suppose you're still cuffed in that case. I am as well aware how I am chained to reality. I couldn't find the key, so I'm afraid I'm stuck like this. Even though I escaped from that jail cell, I'll forever be a prisoner. I made my escape and ran away from that room as fast as I could. How did you manage to escape? I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was locked. Objection. Objection, objection, objection! So many objections! Which is why I had to use the Instagram password to make my escape. I remember our escape was equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony. I mustn't let it go unexamined. The door leading outside was locked tight, so I had to use the underground passageway.
Hold it!
By underground passageway, you mean the only staff, the one staff used to travel unnoticed. I suppose that's what it is for, but I didn't run into any staff members on my way out. And once I was up top... Yes! There are only two people who speak like that. Philosophers and alcoholics. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Lance is 21. He could be drunk, to be fair. And that is when you found us congregating at the stadium, I suppose. Let me ask you then. How did you get a hold of the key to the underground door? Oh, the easiest thing right there in the room in the wall. I do recall a key hanging on the wall beside the table. Boy, does that bring back memories of our situation and how we made our escape. Indeed. And although the door and the floor of our room led to an underground room, the door and the floor of the room next door had a secret passage. A secret passageway under a steam park. Ooh, that just sounds like so much fun! I wonder, is there something off about the way Lance made his escape? Objection! Objection! You say that the door leading up to the door was locked, but was it really? Oh, that was a nice way of you getting out of your cuffs. Now there was there. We're talking about that room behind the saloon, right? The saloon front, right? Look, I heard that it took quite a few men to get that thing open, right, Gina? Yes, that's correct. Now take a look at this. What's that? A sword? Not especially reliable if it's broken like that. Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It simply was held shut by the sword, which was used to jam the handle. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, then why didn't you just simply remove the sword and escape? But why didn't I? I was disoriented. Yes, that's it. I didn't notice it. As if I should accept such a bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not in fact ask the key to the door. That's why you used the prop sword to improvise and create a prison of your very own. You have been making this guy out to be one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you've forgotten something very important along the way. And what would that be? A motive. What else? My own words against me. Oh no, man. My own words against me. Do you honestly think that an uptight pure bore like him would hatch up a completely pointless scheme as such as kidnapping himself? This proves that Lance did indeed have a man to commit this crime. Objection! Put it simply, Lance had a very urgent need for money. This hardly is your typical love letter. In fact, it's collection bills. It's probably before recipe for turnabout happens. It appears that our upstanding boy has accumulated quite a lot of debt. Isn't that right, Lance? Ah! Looks like that's hard being the son of a rich man, too. Must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your old man, huh? Right, I give up. I abducted myself. Well, that's one way to say it. Nuts! It's over, Lolly. In this life, we really are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted to do is go to a new town, somewhere where no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off, with that 1 million. But now, that dream is over. Oh, Lance! And you're giving yourself up? Yes, I had planned to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan. But then, he had to go and stab us in the back! He turned on you. Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money. That's my guess! It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. We were alone. When he attacked me all of a sudden, after a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control. We left him inside that room as Lolly and I made our escape. We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly left first in the Blue Badger costume. That would mean the person Officer Meekin saw was Miss Pops. That's right. But right then, the old man just had to wake up. I was careless, and he tackled me pretty hard from behind. And Oliver put on the Bad Badger costume, took the suitcase with the $1 million and ran. I contacted Lolly right away and warned her that he had a gun. I had no idea that they were related, so I thought it could only end badly. I still don't believe that! That person's was not my father! Because if he was, I just killed my own father! What? Boy, that's a lot to tackle. Lolly, then it really was you. Let's hear her testimony. That man's not my father! I mean, because at the stadium, there was a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with $1 million in it. But that Badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot. The other person crumpled to the ground, and I ran scared for my life. I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you? Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only... I don't believe she's the culprit. It'd be too easy if she was. Now, I jokingly, I wanted to put the blame on Lang, because this is now it's kind of turning into. There's a third person. There's got to be a third person to this, so maybe, because this is starting to sound a little bit like Turnabout Memories. Just a little bit. So, help. What if it was Mr. Amano? What if Mr. Amano killed? Miss Pulp, she shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was. If what she says is true, are you saying she's lying? Well, why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve? You would be surprised at how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, Kay. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? What I mean is, listen very carefully to her confession once more. Once more, and you'll see. So I'm glad. The man's my father because Stadium. Please calm down and let's talk. Slowly talk through this, and just give me the scissors, okay? But all you have to do is simply tell us what happened at the stadium. Leave the rest. Leave it to us to search out the truth. Can you do that for me? All right. So at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with $1 million in it. That was the ransom money, wasn't it? Yes, that's how I was able to identify Mr. Deacon almost immediately. It was all thanks to what Lance told me. And what did he tell you? Well, he called me on his cell phone and told me that Mr. Deacon had betrayed us and ran off with the ransom money. And about how he had a gun. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead.
Hold it.
If you were able to clearly see the gun. Yes, I got a very good look at it while it was pointed at me. Oh, Father, why would you try to shoot me? Do you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth? They were both wearing costumes. Do you really think they knew it was? Do you really think he knew who that blue badger was? To be fair, I don't know. I don't want to believe it myself. But it's true. My father's left arm was raised with a gun. Left arm? Objection, Your Honor. Wait, we're not in court, so I can't use the word "your." I shouldn't say Your Honor. Objection, my dear. Put it straight at me. I'm about to die, I thought. Miss Paul, please calm down and take a deep breath. And then would you allow... Please, and then would you please let me hear that last statement one more time? Yes, of course. Do I just go for the kill, or do we continue the press just to see if any funny content comes? Let's press! I got time. And you felt that your life was in danger, correct? Yes, I'm about to die, I thought. So... That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. You shot Mr. Deacon. Miss Paul? Yes, I shot him. Ha ha ha! And that's as they say. And as they say it, that's it. Agent Lang, Miss Pops is far from done. She hasn't even finished her testimony yet. You're going to continue to question her? What a waste of time. Fuck you! Let me do what I want, Aunt Lang. No, I love this man, but still. Miss Pops, if you please. Alright. There was a gunshot, and the other person crumpled to the ground. I ran, scared for my life. Did you take off immediately following the gunshot? Yes. And he didn't attempt to approach the victim at all after he was shot. I was scared. I don't blame you. I would have done the exact same thing. Poor Miss Phelps. What will become of her, Mr. Edgeworth? She seems to be telling the truth regardless of what happened at the stadium. However, I don't believe it to be absolutely correct. Listen very carefully to her confession one more time and you'll see. Oh, to be fair, I knew the answer. I just wanted the press for fun. Objection! What? Oh wait, do we present the Blue Badger Bible because that's where it says it, where it shows that the Bat Badger has the gun in his right hand? Objection! Fuck. What am I supposed to? What am I supposed to press? Aha! Wonderful sword right there, willing to point out his boss's mistake. Yeah! Gumshoe, you will refrain from excessive talking, or else I'll cut your salary. That's true, sir. Look on. Wait, dominant hand, right? Objection! I have here a dossier on your father. According to this, your father was actually right-handed. Ah, then the person pointing a gun at you from the top of the stage was not Mr. Deacon. Hold on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a little refresher course. The Blue Badger model is attached, has a gun model, has a bundle of gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have had a real gun was the left, which is impossible when it went down like that. Agent Lang, were you paying attention to what the pulp was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch in. Enough with the smugness. Out with it already. Miss Pulps told us earlier. There was the badger pulling the suitcase with $1 million in it. According to you, the bad badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he is pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pulp? Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the bad badger! It had those huge sunglasses on its face. If that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction. Agent of Interpools, everyone! Agents of Interpools. I love this man, but he is a bit of nuts sometimes. Yes, Miss Pulps claims to have seen the bad badger, and yet the bad badger had both his hands full. These two pieces of information both hands weren't occupied. Because, where's the gun? Both hands were not occupied. Holding a gun in his right hand as he pulls the suitcase with the same hand. Isn't it impossible for a right-handed person to do both things simultaneously? Your deduction is full of one too many contradictions, don't you think, Mr. Prosecutor? Yeah! I suppose it is pretty difficult, if not impossible. By Badger, the information contradictory, that must be wrong. Then it should be both are correct. They are both correct. Impossible. That just leaves us with an unresolvable contradiction. Objection! Oh god, yelling objection a lot. It really does take out your voice. It Pulp's entire statement rests on the fact that he saw sunglasses and a beard. What if that bad badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? This proves that there was a way for the blue badger to really both use his hands. Objection! Get your head on straight. Get your head on straight, Mr. Prosecutor. That doesn't show me diddly squat. I knew it! What I saw wasn't just a merge! Wait, I can explain! Let me explain! Then it has to be the blue badger head. Sorry, I had to drink water real quick. wanted to at least. Then the costumes had two parts to them, the head and the body. Oh, I get it now! The head Miss Help was probably was really the head of that badger. However, it is not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger. A different badger. Yes, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The blue badger? No, it would have to be purple badger.
Take that.
What the heck is that? It's the purple badger. Yes, and it's a simple matter of a process of elimination. Miss Pulp was wearing the blue badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the pink badger is the wrong color, which would have been incredibly obvious. All that left is the purple badger's costume. Miss Pulp, who was the one who wore the purple badger costume? That would be Lance. Are you saying what I think you are? That Lance Amano donned the bad badger head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon? On top of which he plotted to shoot Miss Pulp while wearing that hideous thing? The stage was set up in the stadium with nothing more than a setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pulp into believing that she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pulp, pretending to be the victim. It was all done so that she would pull the trigger. I have no idea what you're talking about. What exactly would I have done? Why exactly would I have done all of that, huh? So you could have all the money for yourself, idiot. Because one would be dead and the other would be behind bars. Gosh. Are you forgetting who you're talking to? Oh, I should have a hair flipping. I should have like a little gift for like flipping hair. Like, are you forgetting who you're talking to? Flips hair. Hello, I'm Alice Edgeworth, prosecutor. There's but one reason. Lance Amano. You are the real culprit behind the murder of the Oliver Deacon. What? No! That's slander! Take it back! You can take it back right. You take it back right now. Who do you think you're talking to? I don't take shit back. Just out of curiosity, Lance. Which is your dominant hand? I'm left-handed. Well, what does that have to do with anything? It depends. According to Miss Pulp, her attacker held the gun in his left hand. Ha! Who's what-handed doesn't prove a thing. And besides, you're just being absurd. It's not like the purple badger is bulletproof. When misfiring, he would have found himself dead, right? Of course, logically, if he has been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well and prepared it accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure he wouldn't be hit by a bullet. Rip from the bad badger's costume. Obviously, now we can finally present this. We found half of the bad badger's costume in the hideout and a broken one. It was not the same one as the victim was wearing. Plus, it was missing something. And that something is the model gun that the bad badger carries, which can fire blanks. What? Agent of Interpools, everyone. I love the man, don't get me wrong. Miss Pulp, where's the gun you used now? I threw it away into the sea. That makes it a bit tough to verify that it was. Although I believe we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question. I heard enough. All you have been spun is pure conjecture. I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I cannot prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high. Okay, let's pretend that you're right and that the murderers at the stadium was fabricated. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor? I think I'm gonna need to do a little more investigating. I don't know yet. Ha! I knew you were full of it. However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame. Please, wait a second! It's simply not possible! Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance! You saw the victim in the state of being restrained? What Miss Pulp saw. I came back to the hideout long after the other two. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. I don't think that was Mr. Deacon you saw. I don't think that was him you saw. I think that was me you saw. After that, the two of us pulled up our costumes and made our escape. So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after you two left, right? He thought that would attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We planned to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone. Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at the time. And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard the plan to meet up at the stage. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pulp saw the victim with her own eyes. I doubt that highly. Which means that the victim is still alive at the time, wouldn't you agree? Why does that sound wrong to me? I think you know damn well why, Edgeworth. There must be something amiss about this account. Benefactor, when I studied friend Jeremy, director of the Manor Group. Kidnap victim escaped from kidnapper sought out when he was found in the city. Oh, puppet great thief. She claims to be the Yasuki history, but so he's the highest arrest for Interpol and in charge of the kidnapping case. Link trusted secretary, level-headed, she supports him in his investigations. Murder victim, a felon, was separated from his daughter, Lauren Pops. Previous officer was conducting an investigation while in blue badger costume. Lancemona's girlfriend, one of the kidnappers, separated from her father, Deacon. High schooler studying in Europe became a forensic examiner on school break. Lady inside the pink badger. I believe her real name was Andy Holbeck. I love that she's just security lady. She's not like getting. Let me see what happened when I examine it in more detail.
Hold it.
When exactly did you arrive back at the hideout? After we picked up the ransom money. And where were you up until the time you returned? I was scouting the park out to make preparations for her escape. I walked around the various areas looking for the best routes. So each of them had their own role to play. After I was done, I went back to the hideout. By that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. How did Lance look at the time? He looked shocked. He also looked a little down, and I saw the sadness in his eyes. Thank you, that's enough for now. And of Mr. Deacon, what was his situation like? He had tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door.
Hold it.
Are you sure that was Mr. Deacons you saw? Yes, I'm certain of what I saw. Did you go into the other room and check? Lance said it was the best if I didn't get too close to him. Such a kind soul. Then are you telling me what you did not... Are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deakins for yourself? I checked through the slit in the door that separated the two rooms. He had a bad badger head on, so I'm absolutely sure. That just had to be Mr. Deacon. Not a bad badger head. The captain must have had a bad badger head on, so I'm absolutely sure it was Mr. Deacon.
Hold it.
So the time that Mr. Deacon was still had his bad badger costume. Yes, and it would appear that she misread the whole situation. What now? Should I raise an objection? When in doubt, raise an objection. The person you saw was not the victim. What? Why not? I will tell you why not. It was this. This pulp shows us the other person was not the victim. Do I present the bad badger head?
Take that.
Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Deacon at all. Huh? The person you actually saw was this person. Me! It was me. Huh? The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth? I always thought it was a bit off. Why would the kidnappers abduct me after, even though I had handed over the ransom? It's not as though I saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have taken the $1 million and ran. I would have taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. A point to make me look like Mr. Deacon. And if that's the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at the time. Well, Lance, am I right? You showed Miss Pulps a person, namely me, with bad badger head on. And then you made your costume escape. Your escape together. Or so you pretend. Huh? What do you mean by pretended? Exactly that. I believe that Lance watched you escape, and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the badger head from my unconscious self. And to create his fake prison, which was the prop storage, that he escaped via the passageway. Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get caught up in that tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth. Tidal wave. We have heard a lot out of you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim betrayal and his subsequential detainment, all that could have happened while you were out cold. Yeah, that's right. You were out for quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. Even if that was the case, Mr. Pulp would still has seen me tied to that beam. I was scared of Mr. Deacon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really had no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth. See, it was seen that you can't prove a thing. Yeah! Who said that? Please wait. Mr. Amano. Oh, Miles, my boy. It looks like you were really giving it your all. Thank you, Mr. Amano. And it's not good to cause trouble for others. Dad! Did you not realize your dad was here? Let's see. You are one of the in charge of investigations, correct? Yeah, that's right. Just imagine he just like puts his sunglasses like, yeah, I'm him. Oh, wait, hold on. Do I have sunglasses? Do we have? Hold on. Is there a sunglasses prop? Just ready. Hold on. I always thought there was. Hell yeah, there is. Let's use these ones. Oh, deal with it. Yeah, that's right. I should make this a toggle effect. I'll do that after stream now. But more for something like this. We're gonna wear the sunglasses for a while. I hope that's cool with you guys all. I'm sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Oh, do you now? Yeah, let me take off sunglasses then. Yeah, I'll definitely make that like a scene. It's not what I think it is. It's the Bad Badger costume the victim was wearing, and the gun. I couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found them myself. It appears that they were disposed of at the scene. Ah! Is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law? Hello, yes, I am prosecutor. There. Now, there's Ernest. Agent Ling, please calm down. What the heck is that scrap of paper? This appears to be a letter from the chief of police. Please allow Mr. Amano to complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says. What? The chief of police? What the? Just who does he think he is? The person who wields the highest authority in this area. Oh, there. Now. There is no need to be so upset. Heh, I'm not a cop from this land. So I'm not bound by the laws of your country. Now. I don't think Amano does commit tax fraud. Now Lance, on the other hand. No. This wasn't meant to be to strong arm you into anything. This is just a request. I mean, I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land. I can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand. It doesn't matter who found the evidence. Its value remains unchanged. Alright, now, let's take a look at this new evidence. I've already got the results back. It has a special forensics lab, and I had a special forensics research lab, and I'm good on good terms with conducting the test. They verified that the blood on the costume belonged to Oliver. As for the gun, only the fingerprints they could find was yours, Lauren. What? You disappoint me, Miles. I can't believe that you would cause my son such distress and heartache. This just proves my point of what I've been trying to say the whole time. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around. Have you not heard of anything I've said? Just look at the guy's ears. That's where the tax write-offs are going to. Or maybe that's where he stashes all of his taxes when he's committing evasion. He doesn't commit. No. See, I got this. He doesn't commit tax fraud. He commits tax evasion. I don't know if there's a difference in the two crimes, but there is not. Is that it? Are these the case-making pieces of evidence? Ha! I'll be the judge of that. I won't rest until I've inspected everything pretty. What's this? It looks like there's something inside the costume head. bet they're real valuable. Sorry, but they're just pieces of a mirror. Why are they in here? I thought that would be some logic. Could this gun be the actual murder weapon? This bullet hole looks like kind of like burn around the edges. Wait, those burn marks were left by the gunpowder. This is the most important fact. Why is that? Because it's proof that the victim was shot at point blank range. Well, at least not the most definitive pieces of evidence you ever seen. Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. Hi. I still think you're the culprit, Lance. Decisive evidence. Make no mistake, there's no fingerprints on that murderous gun. And they proved that it wasn't Lolly. It was Lolly who killed Oliver. But Oliver was so after Lolly's life. So, Mr. Edgeworth, even you must see that Lolly was only acting in self-defense. Fingerprints on the weapon, huh? Oh no! This isn't helpful at all! Look, Mr. Edgeworth, all I want to do is save Lolly. And in the end, all I can do is watch over as she takes the punishment for her crimes. That may be all you can do. However, I still have a case to solve and a job to do. The job of unrailing your hideous lie. You wound me. Why won't you believe me, even if in the face of all this evidence? Don't you understand? I'm a prosecutor. My job's... I've only just begun to expose you as the murderer. Don't you understand?
Hold it!
Those fingerprints. Are you sure they belong to Miss Palps? There are no mistakes about it. Although my connections, I had the best forensics technique money can buy before. I find that to be a bit peculiar. What? Are you trying to pick an argument with me? No. What should I do? Should I raise an objection? Oh no, I'm in doubt. So, when in doubt, raise an objection! Frankly, I don't believe that Miss Palp's print should be on that gun to begin with. And the reason why Miss Palp shouldn't be on the gun, and not be on the gun is... You found Miss Pulp's fingerprints on this gun. Can you let me hold it for a sec? I shouldn't if you don't know how to hold it. Plus, Miss Pulp's prints are on it. Look, I'm wearing gloves. It'll be okay. I just want to take a look, that's all. It's not like I'm gonna run off with it. Only things I don't return are treasures. Stealing either one would land you in jail, you know. Wait, no, it's so obvious. Her prints shouldn't be on it if they were in costumes. It's simply not possible for Miss Pulse to have left any prints on the murder weapon. Because while she was at the stadium, Miss Pulp was wearing a costume. Huh? But there's been no mistake. We found fingerprints. Well, Miss Pops, do you remember touching the gun at any time? Yes. As a matter of fact, I did hold it for a bit back in the hideout. I handed it off to Mr. Deacon when he and Lance left for the haunted house. To retrieve the ransom money, I suppose. And there you have it. That's when Miss Pulps found their way. The prints found their way onto the gun. Grrr. Do you understand now, Mr. Romano? The fingerprints do nothing to prove that Miss Pulps is the murderer. But you still don't have anything to prove that she isn't the killer, right? You seem very adamant about insisting that your girlfriend is a cold-blooded killer. Oh, Lance. What? No, wait! I'm incredibly worried about her! Right. But that doesn't change the fact that you don't have any evidence, right? That's where you're wrong. I have the evidence. What? How? The story that Miss Pulp killed the victim at the stage in the stadium? The whole affair is simply not true because what the real crime scene, but a setup. This proves that the real murder was not committed at the stadium at all. This piece of evidence proves that the real crime scene is not in fact the stadium. Mr. Prosecutor, I have to rate that piece of logic a 0 out of 10. 0?! It's at least a 6.8 out of 10! At this rate, Lolly's gonna wind up getting arrested. I must remain calm and think clearly. Wait. The burn marks! And the same area where the victim was... The burn marks! Let's take another good look at the costume the victim was wearing. Then I believe you'll see why I insist that he was not shot at the stadium. The part of the costume that proves it. Take that! The burn around the mouth disposal was made in the victim was shot at point blank range. Ah, so you mean the murderer? So then you mean the murderer Miss Olbeck saw at the stadium was really... Yes, she saw two people, but they were separated by a distance. If the victim was indeed shot from the stage below, there shouldn't have been a gunpowder mark. Ah! Hey, look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants, you, Mr. Smarty Pants prosecutor. Oh, so I've been promoted to Smarty Pants prosecutor. I'm honored. I'm saying this very sarcastically, by the way. Since you seem to know all the answers, why don't you tell us here the real crime scene then? Lance set me up to look like Mr. Deacon back at the hideout. If that's the case, then the murder must have happened prior to that. And the location where Lance and the victim were just before I was imprisoned was... I got it! I know where the real scene of the murder is! In which Mr. Deacon was killed was here! At the haunted house! I think it was not unreasonable to assume that the murder took place in the haunted house. The haunted house? Yes, and I had proof that it was highly likely that the victim was killed here. Which proves the victim of the crime scene was the haunted house. Take that! It was inside the costume the victim was wearing. There are fragments of a mirror. A mirror? What does that have to do with anything? Indeed, you don't exactly expect to find pieces of a mirror inside a costume. Yeah, that's actually pretty dangerous. However, there's one place I could think of where there's a peripheral of mirror magnets. And that's the haunted house. Lance Amando, I propose that you kill Mr. Deakins with the revolver in the haunted house. What, are we playing Blue now? After that, you stole the Blue Badger mobile to move his body to the Wild West area. The timing of when the Blue Badger mobile was stolen confirms this fact. Miles, my boy, say no more! I'm sorry, Mr. Armando, but I cannot do that. Be quiet. Yes, please do something. Stop that boy from speaking any more nonsense. I'm sorry, but... Ernest Armando, correct? I mean you. Be quiet. Now be quiet, Gramps. How dare you! I don't need words. The only thing I require is evidence. Decisive evidence. Well, if you put all the evidence together, it really does point to Lance being the murderer. To call these mirrors decisive is a bit too presumptuous, Mr. Prosecutor. What? Sheena, wasn't there a mirror in the kidnapper's hideout? Yes, there was a mirror in there. A mirror that's for the haunted house. You see, isn't it possible the fragments got in the costume there? But Agent Lang, there was no fragments on the floor, so the probability is very low. Probability? Ha 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 ha! Lang Shi says, on Shu's past, the word probability doesn't exist. The only thing that does is definite proof. The question, Mr. Prosecutor, is do you have definitive proof you need? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, do you? Do I have solid evidence that the murder took place at the haunted house? The answer is no. See, since you don't have any, shut up! I don't have the evidence yet. But I'm certain the murder occurred around the time I turned the ransom over. At that time, the only person in the haunted house besides myself were Lance and Mr. Deacon. If I can prove that the murder took place at the haunted house, then I can prove Lance's guilt in the connection to the murder. What now, Mr. Edgeworth? Agent Lang, I have a special request. Yeah? I'd like to prove that the scene of the crime was inside the haunted house. Why in the world are you asking the werewolf for permission? Because I don't really have a choice. If I want to find the truth. Alright, permission granted. But you're not to touch a single stick, got it? That won't be a problem. All that's important to me is that the truth be brought to light. It doesn't matter by who or how it's done, as long as it is. Sheena! I'm here. Put in the paperwork for the observation immediately. Understood. I'll go get the Gatewater Group approval. Who was that?! No. Let's hold for a second. There's no need to obtain approval. Mr. Armando. Agent Lang, if you would please take a look at this. What is this? Sheena! It's the deed to the haunted house. The deed. Read it out loud. Gatewater Land Incorporated hereby bequeaths the property known as the haunted house to Mr. Armando for the lump sum of $1 million paid full in cash. What? Ho ho ho! As you can see, I am now the legal owner of the haunted house. You son of a bitch! Are you kidding me? When did you? I ran it into the owner of the park earlier. We made the deal almost immediately. How dare you! Are you so brainwashed to think that your son is just an innocent little boy? Or maybe Lance isn't the murderer at all. Maybe the real true culprit is you, Ernest! How quickly things move when you can prepare $1 million in the blink of an eye. Yeah, this man absolutely commits tax evasion. That $1 million you paid, don't tell me it was... Oh, that's right. This disgusting suitcase belongs to you, doesn't it? I don't have any more use for it, so you may have it back now. You used the ransom money?! My Lance is a good boy.
He even apologized for the kidnapping a bit earlier. So I do believe that I will forgive him. After all, he did return the ransom. That way things are. So, if you please discuss things with me from now on. Discuss? What is there to discuss? By permission to enter the haunted house, of course.
While we were busy listening to Lance's story, Mr. Armando was out there preempting us. Permission to search the haunted house is denied. End of discussion. Agent Ling, I want you to arrest that girl. And Miles, you should hurry home now, my boy, before I really lose my temper. Ho ho ho! I'm not going anywhere! You son of a bitch! Yeah! Mr. Armando definitely has stacked it in his favor here. What should I do? If I leave like this, the truth will be forever lost. My voice really hurts, so we're going to continue this next Tuesday. We're going to end it next Tuesday, I should say. So, needless to say, I'm a little pissed at a certain somebody, and they're gonna make me go crazy, Stinker. And it's pretty obvious that Mr. Amano is the murderer. Why would he do that? Do something like that? Wait. Okay, never mind. I'll think about this after. I'll overthink this when I'll be overthinking this once I hit the end stream button. So most likely, absolutely, probably though. So at this point, I'm just gonna see if there's anyone to raid. I'd say there might be some bonus streams over the weekend, but that I highly doubt. So at this point, like I said, just seeing if there's anyone pretty. Oh, Ruffer is the only one I see, so we'll just hit Ruffer up with the raid. He's doing a, Buffer is doing a, Super Mario 64 ROM hack. So, definitely enjoy his stuff. And I will see you guys either next Tuesday or sometime next weekend. Bye.